Cavern for ISP. Such a good ring. Rolls off the tongue. ISP. Not GSP, ISP. Really, Cavern's performs quite well. I have seen him play as well. So a few mentionable names and some that I've never seen before as well. So let's get down to business. What are those agent picks going to be?
Yeah, so we can already see the map will be bind, so not your typical map we have seen. I mean, typically for us here on the VSS, we always see Ascent as those BO1s, but luckily for us, we get a little bit of variety and going to be starting things off on bind and see what agents will come through. It actually does look like a Sage is being tempted, and I'm curious to see if that's going to be utilized. And I would definitely like it. And that actually
Oh
does come
yeah.
through. The lock in comes through from Av. So that's a really big one. I mean, Sage back in the day, definitely making some big statements, but we can see on the left-hand side of the defenders, you got your Omen, Raze, Sova, your Killjoy, and of course Sage, which is pretty standard setup. Where on the other side, we actually do see a Breach as well as a Cypher. So not too bad of a setup from both squads.
Not at all, and I know you get eyes on the Breach, being a Breach main yourself, seeing Breach going to serve it, or the tacticians play, if you will, the CS routes maybe?
Yeah, you're just bringing me back to, million flashbangs you can have and, just rolling thunder, just causing a lot of havoc. I mean, definitely a good agent to have, especially on a map like Bind. I think both defensively and on the offensive side definitely can be utilized properly and really just causing a big commotion on both sides.
It can, causing so much havoc, and with this map itself, flashes can be so important. You're getting access to hookah, you're trying to get access to garden showers, whatever it may be. With the note of flashes though, and if you haven't seen this, coming up on Tuesday, just speaking to Laz about this off stream, and definitely an on-stream mention as well. Yoru coming in, there'll be another agent with plenty of flashes at one's disposal. So if you're like, oh man, Breach, so difficult to play against, get used to it, baby. There's going to be plenty more flashes in the server coming up. For this one though, just got your Breach. We don't have a Phoenix for any other flash attempts, but lots of aggression straight away, right into mark here. Look at this, they're plowing on through here.
Yeah, they're really just pushing on through, and even Ab, you can see just actually getting a lot of short control. So a little bit of aggression from both squads. So even the defensive side from Las Vegas Inferno, getting a lot of map control, a lot of information. This is a big value, and Av might be able to find the back one of these players. Look at this, the timing. Actually going to be a little bit patient, not going to go for this. Instead, we'll just fall back, but now you can see they're getting ready, and they're going to be able to rotate right on through. And now the attack has finally commenced.
This coordination looking really, really good here from ISP. Loving what I'm seeing so far, and on the retake, you've got a lineup of Las Vegas Inferno going for the duel. Sova chipping in for the first, taking two.
Oh, and that's the heal that's going to come in from Sage. And look at that. That's going to be the wall that comes in, and that's where the big problem comes in. And Walt's trying to slice and dice his way through, and that's just going to be that. And Las Vegas Inferno, they prove why Sage can be such a nuisance on this map. That wall just guaranteed him an easy spike defuse and an easy pistol round to pick up.
And that recent patch we did see with the buff, or I should say, yeah, it would be the buff of the Sage Ice Wall. So putting her back into the meta, I would say, lads, and a factor to think of. Maybe you've not used Sage in a while. She's starting to come back in. I've seen a couple of games. Obviously, my rank's not worth a mention, but I have seen her back in the servers. Have you seen her back in the servers at all, lads, from your games at all?
With some of the adjustments that we've seen in some of the other patches, she's definitely getting her use back in there. The Barrier Orb is definitely making more of an impact than it used to. And it is good to see that we're finally getting Sage back in the server, whereas before it looked like she was completely nerfed to the ground. But that is not the case here. But right now, what is going to be the case is ISP already losing their jet, so that's going to be the Duelist and Cavern only able to take one. So the trades are coming back from Las Vegas Inferno, already showing the flames and already just making the attacking side of ISP to fall back. They have the spike and still possession, but now they're going to try to test the waters here inside of Hookah and also in Garden.
Hookah's still open though, taking out as much of that Killjoy utility as you can. Such a nuisance in a 4 versus 3. Try and take on your opponents, not all the util blocking you, and this Stinger play here from Iconic. He's got to bring in that top tier talent. Sting them all, baby. Big plays, go for the one.
That's huge. Look at that. I mean, Stinger on Stinger, and I mean, they just come on through, but that's going to be Thief with 2. Ooh. That's so dirty, but it will not matter because Ab is going to be able to get that spike defuse, but man, what a way to go. ISP right on the glimpse of taking that into their own hands.
those one taps, Laz, those Shiko taps, they were like 0.5 second difference between them. That was literally a fraction of a second away from ripping Sage's head off as well, collecting skulls, picking up another Sheriff will be ISP and make that 4 Sheriffs inspired by the plays with their teammate and taking it into the server in the full 12.
Yeah, that, I mean, for, you know, the attacking side, I mean, just getting the damage done, that's exactly what you want, because you have to burn that economy for the defensive side, and that's exactly what they did. It was only one player remained in that previous round, which was Av. So they've had to use money. They're not able to have that bonus round that we talk about all the time. But right now, ISP, they're just going to go back on the Shiko, just have the Sheriffs out, see what else they can find. I mean, if they're doing this much damage already with these kind of weapons, boy, we got ourselves a big match.
We definitely do. A best of one, right? These games, if you get one tap by a Sheriff and you can't buy next round, well, that's going to affect this game in its entirety. No recovery with that best of 3, and let's see what they can do here. Spike down with Sheriffs only. They shouldn't be doing this. They should be allowed access.
Yeah, so they're going to be able to get the site, so Iconic just going to be using the Swarm Grenade, but actually sprays on through, but doing a little bit of a jiggle peek, but now it's going to have 2 members, but he's going to be able to get the spray through. So a little bit of cleanup now. It is going to be 2 remaining members, but Thief trying to look for another one to steal, but he's just not able to make the second work. And now all just down to RK, and that's going to be that. Iconic picking up the triple. And we said this before, Iconic is, you know, that player that has won the VSS with a previous roster. And so far, it's looking good, but now the biggest test is going to be now.
It is, isn't it? Dropping the Spectres, picking up the big guns, the gun show. Vandals, Phantoms, and no operator in the server just yet, but it's early days. Hang tight if you're that sniper like, where's the op? It's coming, I'm sure.
We don't even see it. Like, we don't even see it at all, like an operator that's out yet. I mean, the money is pretty tight. I mean, Iconic is the closest player that could have potentially gone up for it, but obviously no money in the bank. But probably next round we could potentially see it. There is still 2 Spectres that are on that defensive side.
Man, that's confidence. Keeping that against a Vandal. Interesting plays, and confidence is key. Trying to save that economy and get themselves ahead in all the ways possible. Droning out will be the Las Vegas Inferno, just trying to get a little bit more intel. Thief here just taking his time, pick a banana or orange up in the market on his way through. Anyone want anything?
Anybody call for anything? Anybody want anything while I'm out?
Any egg muffin, a Red Bull, HyperX headset? Not being sold at that market. Only bananas and Red Bulls. But going through 50 seconds, tick-tocking away. 10 players still on the server, so things have really started to slow down here, and no one's showing any skin at all so far.
Yeah, this is a very slow round, but look at this Cavern. He's already going to be pushed up. He's already got into the site, so he's got a lot of real estate, but now it's going to be a matter of how well does he take this advantage. It will be the Killjoy just on the other side. He's just posting up the flash from the breach, comes through. He's actually going to push a bit late, and that's going to be a big punishment. 2 delayed on the push, and now this is completely flipped over. And Las Vegas Inferno, they found themselves an opening. The spike does get planted. Thief does land that 1 frag, playing a high ground from Shadows, but now it's looking very grim. There's only 3 attackers remaining, and that's going to be Pure to take down another. So just Waltz and also the Jet, but that is going to be into the Shadows. Arsec is able to pick up a double. That is a big round and a huge retake from Las Vegas Inferno.
What an overwhelming retake. Overwhelmed just on the spectator cam witnessing that one there. Not much to be said for ISP's response, and not much room for a response. It wasn't really to an error of theirs, just to the outplay from the Inferno, and coming through, Disco Inferno dancing all over the opponent's face and taking that B-bomb site and that spike site with not too much contest at all. Back on the Shiko is going to be ISP. They have put him to work. I ask, is that could be enough to get the job done and get him on the scoreboard? It's still 4-0.
I mean, the one thing to note too, like, I mean, Cavern had the right idea, like completely creeped on through, you know, able to get right up onto the site door, but it was the flash. The timing was just a bit too delayed. If you would have had it a little bit later with the breach flash, potentially could have really just ran through and dismantled that defense, but instead, the defense showing their dominance. And even now, a little bit of back and forth we go. The defender Killjoy going to be activated. No player should be detained, and that will not happen, and it will be Pure to pick up now the Cypher. Gonna be able to push on into this A site, so no remaining defensive players close by. But now they're going to be able to go through the TP and actually go for the back of washrooms, as well as the 2 remaining members into spawn.
So this is a really good position here for ISP. I think the best position they've had so far for the defense on the attempted retake. It's a 4 versus 3. Make that a 4 versus 2. So this is where things start to get a bit sticky here. Shadows, great position, goes for the 1-tap, takes 1, going for the number 2.
We'll look at this, and this is just going a bit more chaotic. I mean, that's going to be the paranoid that actually does connect. So now there is an ultimate available here for both players on Las Vegas Inferno and also the Omen. But now it's completely turned around, and that's going to be ISP. They pull up a big round. It looked very grim, but all of a sudden, something out of the hat, and they've now landed themselves a first round, going 4-1.
I'll get my draw off the floor. Pick that one up. That was a 4 versus 2, lads. 4 versus 3 to the 4 versus 2. And that is the kind of talent that you've got in the top 16 right now. ISP, Illinois server, please. Getting themselves off the goose egg and better now rather than later in that half where it start to get the heads down. None of that, they said. None of that at all. Frags across the board. Is this going to be the success wave here for ISP?
Oh, and this is a big play. I mean, look at this. They all actually push onto A short. So now they've completely put the attackers on the back. And this is putting a bit of a thorn in the side because now ISP, they need to regroup and reposition themselves a bit more appropriately. They still have possession of the spike, so they haven't lost anything too drastic, but they've lost their jet again. This is multiple times in a row now that we've seen the jet fall immediately without any sort of damage being exchanged.
Duelist down, I repeat, and make that an Omen down as well. So there goes the smokes. There goes any chance of the obstruction. Still do have a breach. He's got the spike in hand as well, and they're double peeking best they can. But again, 5 versus 3. They fought themselves out of the box in the 4 versus 2, but I don't know, Iconic, he's waiting. He's on the prowl.
Oh, and that Nanostorm nade. It's a very good placement, but I think it just missed at the wrong time. And Thief trying to play very aggressive, trying to take the fight to them. Tooth and nail, but Las Vegas Inferno, their retakes have been absolutely phenomenal so far. Look at this, all 5 players remaining, a flawless round. They didn't lose anything. They barely took any damage, Kappa.
What have they been over the Christmas break? They've been working their retakes. That's what they've definitely been doing there as a team as well. So it's not just that solo, oh, I'm just going to push this and frag everyone. It comes down to double peeking angles, the util support as well. Absolutely pitch perfect here from the Las Vegas Inferno. They're on fire, that's for sure. And the question is, are they going to continue that? Are they going to continue that for the entirety of this game? ISP do have some good talent on their roster. They're back on the bye again as well, and looking to give a little press here into Hookah. Sova queued, and they're ready to give it a go.
And, when we talk about, having a reputation and being a roster for a long period of time, I mean, ISP, they've been around for a numerous amount of weeks, so they have a lot more pressure riding on them versus Las Vegas Inferno. But Dubbin does actually land that Huntress Fury that's going to take down the Cypher, so they finally keep that momentum going. They just pick up these frags, but Thief, able to steal another body, is now, they put themselves back on that 4-on-4. The spike now going to be advancing itself towards the B site. No defending players nearby. They're all actually grouped up towards the defender side spawn. And now that will be the recon bolt that's going to be used from both sides. Paranoia going to be activated as well. Cavern, he's in a bit of a hard place because look at this. He's just out in the open and he gets taken down. And all of a sudden, we now have ourselves with 3 remaining players from ISP. Someone needs to come alive. That wall is going to come on through. Spike getting diffused. And look at this already. It's just going back and forth, Kappa.
Another one. It's down to the 1-on-1. 5 points to score. We need to see this to get another one for ISP, but that's a flick and a half there coming out from Dubbin.
Dubbin picking up the 3-piece. I mean, the one part of the Berry Orb was taken down, but just holds a bit of an off angle just outside of it and just lands that frag. And now 6-1. What a big lead. I mean, ISP, they're doing the right things, but their post plants, they just seem to kind of crumble.
They did. They started to fall apart a little bit there. I do believe we may be heading to a tech pool shortly. Just to give you guys a heads up.
And there it is. Right on the 6-second mark. So looks like we'll have a tech pause here just for hopefully a few moments. Nothing too much more, but we can talk a little bit about what's going on. I mean, right now, Las Vegas Inferno, I mean, that flame is just growing and growing. I mean, it's just completely running through ISP. And ISP, they've tried a lot of different variety. I mean, they've been able to go through both sites. They get the spike down. But like I said, it's really coming to that post-plant situation in Las Vegas Inferno. For some reason, they got the completely right read on their retakes. And it just almost looks like it's ease. Like no issues at all.
Yeah, it's you use that phrase, that melting butter on a hot knife. It is that way so far, and Illinois, they're making good plays. They're getting the spike down. They're getting access to site. It's those post-plant situations. It's been a nightmare, and I'd be hating to play against a team like Las Vegas Inferno right now. So frustrating. You've got that Killjoy. You've got the recon dart coming through from the Sova as well. They have got their own Sova. But that duelist getting taken out early, you've mentioned that, Laz. I think that could be a reason, a dodgy ingredient in the recipe right now. If Jets maybe to play a bit more passive and go for those close combat trades, we could see something different, but time will tell.
Yeah, and the one thing that we're noticing from Las Vegas Inferno is, like you said, they're putting that fight to them. So they're actually, pushing up short A, getting a little bit of real estate, and then now they switched up. They even have 3 members pushing down long B, but look at this. It's a complete opposite play. ISP, they're actually going to be grouped up. They're going to be able to use this Blade Storm from the Jet, and that's going to be able to connect. That's a good pick. Takes down Iconic. So that's already a big frag that's been exchanged in their favor, taking down the Killjoy. But now the spike is going to get planted. Now you can even see Las Vegas Inferno going back to what they know, getting ready for the proper retake situation. They're all grouped up in the same spot. So now it's going to be a matter who's going to be able to find the right use of their utility. And ISP, they need to stay alive as long as possible.
They definitely do. And it's 5 versus 4. They've got the number advantage, but weapons, obviously, are going to be in the hands of the Vegas. 4 versus 4. Raze chimed in for another one there. Make that 3.
Oh, look at this. And even Cavern, he's just spraying frantically. He's looking, he's hoping, wishing for a miracle, just trying to find something through that dark cover. But Las Vegas Inferno, they run through it again. ISP, a bit of a, grind with the amount of money that they had. But now they have money in the bank, so they're going to have to bring the big guns out. And that big gun is going to be in the hands of Shadows with the operator. We need to see that operator go into use. And we've seen it many times here at VSS, where that op, when it gets on the field, it really does change the pace of the game.
It does, and in the hands of a Jet especially, the only Jet in the server right now, it's got to happen. We need to see it. The Raze, 11 in 3 right now, top fragging, I believe, the entirety of the server on the side of Las Vegas Inferno. So the 4K just gone last round. We need to see some more plays from Jet here. All that pressure, and that is the issue, isn't it? The only duelist on a team, it's all on you. It's all on you to be getting those frags. If you're not, things can start to get a little bit messy and dicey. Talking of dicey, what is going on? It's a 3 versus 3 already.
And that's Las Vegas Inferno just doing what they do best. They just, push on through, group up together, play the buddy system, try to be, a little bit of a thorn against ISP, and that's been working so well so much. So why would they change it? Now Iconic going to be using these cyber cages as more of a shield, but he actually does get spot. He's not able to take anybody out. Av going to be able to use the res that comes in with the Sage with his teammate. So now we're back to an even playing field. But look at the HP. ISP, they're living on the skin of their teeth. They got nothing remaining. The Sova player is the only one that looks like he's close to almost 100, but they're going to have to pop off now. And they're pushing on through Las Vegas Inferno. They're going to be pushing right on to the back of Bathroom. And that's going to be the camera from RK. That's going to be used. So he's going to be able to find one. Actually does make the connection. Cavern finds the head of the Sage. So now is the Las Vegas Inferno. Can they collapse? Can they do something? Can they pull through this retake like we've seen before?
It is to the 2 versus 2 Sova. Dubbin's picking 1 up, picking 2 up. It's to the 2 versus 1, and it's all on Thiefy. Low HP, he's the lowest HP, 16. He grabs 1. He's got to get the pre-fire in here.
Oh, that spike was definitely ticking, but look at that. It's going to pan out through. So ISP, they're able to bait the time, and Pure, he actually went off of the defuse because he wanted to see if he can pick up that frag. I think he realized he didn't have enough time either way, but ISP, they pull up another round, 7-2, but it came right down to it. 0v2 situation pretty much.
It was, and 7-2 being the score. Another one doubled up here for ISP. Truth be though, we need to see at least 1 or 2 more rounds if this is going to be a doable affair for them. That much pressure on defense leaves 0 room for error if things were to continue how they have been this half. Great clutches though coming up from ISP, not giving up the ghost just yet. This is Fury. probing and poking through the map here from Dubbins, and a lick of damage inflicted to the counter Sova as well. So still a 5 versus 5. One player starting to get the band-aids out though, feeling some damage.
So now ISP going to try to go back for this B hit. They've been successful getting into the site, but it's more of just that post plant. So we'll have to see if they can use them a little bit differently. But now Thief going to be able to run on through, takes down Iconic. And that's going to be the paranoia that's going to be used. So that's going to be in the back of the B hallway. Spike about to get planted. Bodies are flying. Bodies are dropping. And now will be Las Vegas Inferno again. Backs against the boards. See if they can pull up another masterclass of a retake setup.
It will have to be masterclass here at a 4 versus 3. So far, so good though, from the way they've been performing. Do have Omen's ult here. Not sure if that's going to come into play here for Waltz. It's not going to be able to. They're not going to give a chance. 3 versus 2 still. Please, this could be, Sage.
Oh, very, very close. I mean, that was a big play from Avin. I mean, you can see just in that cyber cage at the right time, but now Dubbin not able to pick up that 3-piece like we've seen time and time again. And ISP pick up another round, 7-3. And we only have 2 more rounds to go. Can ISP pick up these last 2? Or can Las Vegas Inferno bring back a closer, or a bigger lead, going into that second half?
Talking of ISP, notable fact here, stats for the match. Double rounds there, so back-to-back. The first time we've seen that in this matchup. If they can continue that, and you're right, if they can thread this through, just 1 more round. Even where they are right now, things are not looking so bad, and we're starting to see a team that are going to be a battle to get that win against. Taking us into round number 11 as you will. Approaching in this half pretty damn fast, and that pressure ISP, I'm sure they're feeling it right now.
Yeah, and that's actually going to be the bots that are going to be used from Iconic, so he's going to have to completely fall back, allow ISP to get into this site. So now they have the control of it, but it's going to be a matter of how long, and Iconic going to be a little bit cheeky through that smoke, but he's not able to with Thief. What on earth? He finds 2, and that's going to be 1 kill. That is through the smoke. So now Pierre going to be able to push back onto the back of short A, but ISP, they're holding the ground, they're holding the fort. RK gonna go for the wide swing. He spots this player, but just not able to land this frag. He finally does. The Cypher Omen battle is now fully commenced, and Dubbin gonna be just him and Av, the last 2 remaining players. They want to go for this at this point. It might not be worth it, but now Dubbin's realized he's just got a hightail, get out of this situation, bring that Phantom into that next round.
And try and deny some money for the frag as well. Smart plays here from Dubbin. Focus on ISP though. This is a new team, lads. Did they get some subs in? What's going on? This team's suddenly woken up.
Yeah, this is a big wake-up call from ISP, and this is, a little bit, it won't go in their favor for like tying things up, but it definitely is bringing that a little bit closer and closer. And even the money situation, it's looking pretty tight here for Las Vegas Inferno. They're able to get the guns they need, but Iconic, he's going to have to actually just invest with a Spectre with armor to get the rest of his utility and abilities ready to go. No operator in the hands from ISP, of course, but it will just be the standard rifles. But now this allows ISP to potentially pick up this last round in that first half, which definitely makes it a respectful first half.
It definitely does. They've earned the respect of their peers, taking it to them. And it's hard. It's extremely difficult to making a comeback when you're that much down and out. I think it was 7-1 at one point, and 7-4 is the score right now. They're saying that you're going to take no more. Killjoy's ult here. Potential in the detain. 0 players are going to be caught in that mainframe detain. It's going to be a 5 versus 3 again.
I know exactly.
ISP.
Yeah, this is now just completely switched the page. I mean, now it's all just down to Iconic. He has a Spectre. He's got 5 players to go against. It's all down to him, the Lone Ranger on the defensive side. But now that's going to be ISP making that big comeback. Sure, they don't win the first half, but boy, they have definitely made a fighting chance. 7-5. Things are now going to be switched over as we are going to go into that pistol round. And a reminder, this is still the best of 1 for the top 16. So it's all down to this.
Great way to finish out that half there for ISP. A flawless. They had double flawless in that sense. 2 rounds, all 5 players surviving, and going on the hunt for the saving players as well, saying, listen, you're not going to be saving anything, and we're going to be taking all the things we can. So going on to your defense with 5 rounds, that's not too shabby. That's more than doable. That's a good territory to be in, I think.
Alarm bot out.
Good territory to be in, and now we'll actually see a lot of the defensive players. They're actually going to be grouping up towards long B, so a little bit of a different setup, and even Av going to be throwing the slow barrier. That's actually going to be now a bit of a counter attack as Waltz is able to actually win that first exchange against Dubbin, but the slow orb does land, and it actually makes it a little bit more difficult for them to fall back. But Av, you can see he's just not willing to go for this fight at all, but they have that information in Cavern. He's actually going to be pushing through washroom, so he might be able to find the back of them. He might have that small opening if he wants, but instead, he might just try to play this safe.
So it's
Placing
passed on
swarm
that intel
grenade.
there. Nothing
Swarm
in
grenade
showers. I'm into their spawn. I don't see anything. And talking of counter intel for counter intel, Iconic, he's got U-Haul for free.
Yeah, they got I mean, the positioning from both teams is a little bit off because you can see ISP, they were playing very aggressive down long B, and then Las Vegas Inferno, they were able to just run through short A where Cavern then actually didn't try to go for that big flank, but instead is just going to try to creep on through the washrooms. He's got the ghost in hand, but the Sage Wall going to be blocking off the vision. And now ISP, the players are running around as fast as possible. They're waiting to see the dash going to come through. Iconic, he might be able to pick up this frag, but no, that's going to be RKTA takes him down. And now Shadow's trying to look for a little bit more. Time is ticking, and these classics are just popping off. And now the defuse is now commenced. Pure not able to do anything at all. And that's going to be a defuse that comes through from ISP, bringing them back to only 1 round of a deficit.
And taking that pistol, super important for that psychological factor. Boys, we are back in the game. That's what will be flowing rounds the team comms right now. And the facts are the facts. They're buying in with the full Spectres as well. They want to take this. They want to get right back into this game and bring it back to a tied 1. 7-6 to score. Reminder, it was 7-1. It was 7-1 at point Las Vegas Inferno. We're tearing away with this. And ISP have stopped them in their tracks. Is the Spectre round going to go their way though? Time will tell.
Swarm grenade out.
Yeah, definitely made the comeback. ISP seemed to shake off the nerves or something. I mean, but now it's starting to look like that well-oiled machine that we know. But now it will be the spike that's getting planted. So right now, Las Vegas Inferno, what they want is they just want to get that money bonus as much as possible. Every dollar is going to count at this moment. The Sage Wall going to be able to block off that player defensive side on the bathroom. So they're going to be grouped up towards elbow and a bit of a pinch. So the defenders should know where they are. Waltz is going to get spotted by that location reveal of the dart. As well as Av, he's going to be located, but Iconic going to be able to pick one off, and that's the flash is coming through the breach. But Cavern, the shooting gallery of the pistol, and now all of a sudden, it's just down to Iconic by himself. And ISP, they've taken a recipe out of the same ingredients from Las Vegas Inferno, and now they brought it back to a tie game.
This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I thought this was going to be a stomp of a game from what we saw from the beginning theme, but it's starting to change. The tides have turned. Ripped the playbook out of Las Vegas Inferno's hands, say, oi, that's ours. That's our strats. And running away with it so far, so good. I think it's going to force Las Vegas Inferno into that safe territory there. You're seeing like a frenzy, a couple of Sherry's purchased. They're not looking in the best waters right now.
No, they're really not. I mean, it does help. I mean, that spike plant does allow them to build that economy a little bit more. We don't see it with a big amount of weapons on this side, but it allows them to put more into that this next round that we're going to see. So this is a bit of a gimme in all. I mean, we want to be technical. I mean, we've seen those sheriffs really pop off so much so far in this game, but we'll have to wait and see if ISP make any mistakes.
And that is a great point, mate. It's all about, is a team going to be making a oof and giving away that free frag to gain entrance inside the Stinger? The Sheriff taking the first frag and breaching in here to the 4 versus 4. And there's the frenzy as well from Iconic. So apparently, it doesn't matter what guns they have, they're putting it to work here. The TP flank is coming through as well here from Cavern. My God, this is so fast, Laz.
Oh, and look at this. They've completely over-rotated. So now they're going to take the TP, Las Vegas Inferno. They're just going to have the knives out, running into the site as fast as possible. The dark cover going to be blocking off that connector. So they're able to get the plant down. Haven't fully committed to it yet, but Arsic going to be running and spraying with that stinger. And boy, that is definitely going to sting because now we're all down to a 2v2 situation. HP absolutely critical here for Las Vegas Inferno. It's just to the Killjoy Iconic, making it a one-on-one. The turret going to be used, but Waltz, he's just as lit. So now he's only got the classic. He's just trying to burn this utility, throws the dark cover again, but Iconic, oh boy, it's getting close and he gets the spray, picking up the 3-piece, and they keep the lead going.
I can't believe that. I absolutely can't believe that. I thought Waltz had made the perfect outplay. He made Iconic do some 360s there, but somehow, some way, Iconic put the Spectre to work and getting that clutch in the bag. Super impressive.
An amazing game, and so far Bind is completely delivering the way we kind of thought it would, especially with both these rosters. I mean, for anybody that isn't aware, ISP, they've been here before many times, whereas right now, Las Vegas Inferno, not much of a showing here at VSS, minus just having Iconic winning way back in the day with Mystify. But either way, we're definitely seeing that championship mindset is pulling on through right now.
And he's passed some of that on to his teammates as well. But I'd be interested to see, scoreboard-wise, where Iconic is. Super interested when we do get a chance. And in fact, frag-wise, it's actually quite even across the board there. Thank you, the spectatorship. Yeah. All across the board, 11, 12, 13 frags, so not so much a carry. It's team plays galore here that we're seeing.
We even talk about teamwork. I mean, now Las Vegas Inferno are going to be pushing through short A, but Cavern going to be actually activating that Hunter's Fury. Does make the final connection. The last shot of it lands onto Iconic. So now that's going to be the Sage Wall that's going to be used from Av. They haven't fully pushed into the site yet. There's still a bit of a bind as they're not able to push on through the bathroom. But instead, the Sova going to be running all the way around, so they might actually hesitate on this hit. They might not fully commit to it because they now realize that all the defensive players have rotated.
They've got in their repertoire of thoughts and ideas, they can absolutely work off of that. It's a 3 versus 2. Las Vegas, they've got 20 seconds to make some action here. They've got to do something quick.
Oh, and this is perfect. Look at this. ISP, they're completely rotating over. They've completely fallen into the wrong read, and now Av, he has to go for this plant, so he has to force it. Time is completely ticking. It is the breach that's close on by, and now he's just going to wait things out, but that is going to be Thief. He picks up one, so now it's going to be all just down to Av on his lonesome, going to be located by the recon dart, but able to pick up another frag, and that's going to be the res of Dubbin, sorry, but that's a big pickup, and now Av going to be able to get the heal. Utility is just so perfect right now for Las Vegas Inferno. Oh, using this Cloudburst as a bit of a shield, a bit of a distraction. Oh my goodness, now Av, can he pull this through? He's done so much work so far. Can he now solidify this 9th round for him? And oh my goodness, the spray in the back of the head. Av picking up the 4K, and that Shadows with the misread. And a big round from Las Vegas Inferno.
Oh, Av, buddy, what a round. That's his best round of the game so far. And as a Sage, being that battle medic to make that work, tremendously difficult. Uses the res bait tremendously as well, coming through. And wow. What we got here, it's 9-7. Las Vegas, they're starting to get ahead again.
I mean, that's the beauty of having a Sage. I mean, having the res, yes, I think the intention was, I hope it's not for the bait, obviously, but I mean, at the same time, there's a bit of an unfortunate circumstance because you don't have the wall to block your teammate, but getting that res allowed those the foes to peek, which allowed them to pick up those frags. So is kind of that distraction point, really. So definitely a big play and the right play that we saw from Las Vegas Inferno.
Res bait's always a questionable play, isn't it? If that's obviously you try and keep your teammate alive best as possible, but if you can get a trade out off of that res, all is not lost. And as you'll see, all is won for Las Vegas Inferno. The 4K coming through from Sage and trying to repeat history, they will do here. 1 minute. Showstopper coming out here from Arsic, and see you later, Alligator.
Oh no. That's so dirty. I mean, he just goes for a little bit of a boost and he just lands it. And you can even see the Cypher. He's like, you know what? I'm good. I got nothing. I'm not getting out of this situation.
I'm just going to stay in this corner. My days are numbered. And Jet, Shadows taking one. It's going to be all down to the one, though. It's a 4 versus 1. And Las Vegas Inferno, they're stepping up a notch here. They've been drinking their Red Bull. They've got the double figures. It's 10-7.
Yeah, so now this is going to be 3 rounds in a row for them, because before we can see the 2 rounds went from ISP, and we were just saying, like, the comeback was really commencing from ISP, but now all of a sudden the wind is completely out of those sails. They just seem to be stuck, like right in the middle of the ocean. They got nothing. And it seems like they just don't have the right opportunities, the right positioning, a little bit of over rotation that we're seeing so far. But right now,
Continue to
another
overwhelm
tail of the tape because it will be a full gun round, of course, from both squads. No operators yet. We'll have to see. ISP, they need to pick up this round, keep themselves in a fighting chance.
They really do. You hate to say that the must-win round, but I'm going to say it, mate. This is a must-win round for them if they want to keep things a little less heated, a little less stressful. That frag is going to be epic there. And was that? Oh my god, where'd that 4K come from?
Yeah, Cavern just kind of hanging out in the back of garden, just planting some leaves and planting some flowers. I have no idea, but all of a sudden he just dug up 4 frags and just ran through Las Vegas Inferno. And now all of a sudden it's just down to Arsic by himself. Doesn't even have the spike. Completely stuck, and 1 is going to be the loneliest number. But we'll have to see, is that going to do right now for Las Vegas Inferno at this point?
You want to talk about a landscaper? He's renovating the entire garden there, ripping it all up and putting his own garden in place, as he will. Looking for this ace. You can see him. He's so hungry for this. Is this going to be an ace denial round? You'd hate to see it.
Yeah, and this is that point where you got to be very disciplined. I mean, Cavern, he's probably feeling it. He's like, come on, guys, let me just have this ace. I want it so bad. Let me have the clip. And instead, Waltz, he's going to spot it, but oh, he actually doesn't land that frag. So now Cavern knows, but Arsic completely given away on his location. He's only got 23 seconds, so this is a moment about survival. He just needs to stay alive. Maybe pick up a frag if he can. But Waltz just holding the tightest angle, going to be able to now put the nail to the coffin. But a big round individual performance that we see from ISP.
What a 4K, man. What an absolutely legendary 4K. And it couldn't have come at a better time. It's 10-8. We've spoke of, all right, the game's not to slip away from you guys. And ISP like, okay, we're here. We're still checking in. And taking that sip of that Red Bull is going to give them the advantage that they needed. So only 2 rounds between them. Top 16 teams, definitely, they've earned their position here. They've been grinding all day to make this one happen. And just talking with Laz about this earlier off cam, but 160 teams signed up for this event today. So if you're planning on getting your team in for VCS in the future, make sure you do it sharpish, because slots do go very, very quickly. And you've seen the talent that we have in today's games. Yeah, a lot of great teams up for the bat.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself.
You should run.
But even now, you can see that will be Las Vegas Inferno going to be activating the Killjoy ultimate. So that's going to be the lockdown that's going to be used. But actually, it does get destroyed. So I believe that was the Hunter's Fury that was able to make that connection, takes it down. They push on through the site. That's going to be the recon bolt that's going to be destroyed. So there's going to be Arsic, you can see, trying to play a little bit of a frag show. But Cavern, he's going to be able to win that one. And now it is going to be the attackers that are able to get the spike down, but Iconic getting the run and spray, landing it onto the duelist once more. But now, what is the plan of attack?
What is going on? It's a stalemate with the spike down. Not something that's an everyday occurrence. 4 versus 4.
Oh, Iconic, he's able to just run away just at the right time from that Rolling Thunder. And now, back and forth we go. Thief going to be using the flashbang, but he does fall while he tries to do it. So now, 2 remaining players from ISP, but Waltz will only able to take down 1. But now, Las Vegas Inferno have put themselves only 2 rounds away from taking this best of 1.
Economy, a little bit sketchy on the side of ISP. It's going to be doable, though. Seems like they're hesitating if this is going to be the full buy round. And truth be, that they've kind of got to do it. They've got to put all their eggs in the basket here and say, bet attack, or sorry, bet defense all. If I get my words right.
That's okay.
I'm forgiven.
So it's been a long day for us, you know?
It has. And,
Lots of frags, lots of highlights, lots of frags.
Lots of frags, lots of 4Ks actually. I think we've seen like four 4Ks, 3 4Ks so far in this matchup alone. And just to mention, it said top 16, lots more action to come for the rest of your Sunday. So please do stick around with myself, Cup of Frag, and Laz there. Don't forget to chuck us a follow on socials as well. Playing more DCX action to come all throughout the rest of the year too. But to where we are now, got Arsic. He's taking the Fight 2 market there.
And right now, I mean, you can see the only ult that is available actually right now and completely from both teams is going to be Shadows from ISP. And he actually does activate the Blade Storm. So that is going to be the primary use to see if they can put that ultimate to work to pick up a frag or two, turn things around, which we've definitely seen a lot of highlights from Jets with that ult. It's going to be about timing. It's going to be about the right execution. But now the flash actually does come through the breach, but actually does push back these attackers. So instead, they're going to actually retreat from this plan and regroup and take the A site. But that's going to be the paranoia to connect. So ISP is going to allow them to have it for now, but it's all going to be down to this retake. We might be on ourselves a 5-on-5 situation.
Iconic. Such a devastating fall to his solo play. Saying that, the caster's curse delivered. Sorry, fella. Pit taken out by Waltz there. And the Omen, the trade for the Waltz is coming in as well. It's back to the 4 versus 3. The 3 versus 3. The Spike is going to be down as well. What a chaotic game this is.
That Spike actually does get down right at the last second. So does come on through Dubbin. Gonna be able to take down one, but that it will be a location reveal that will now be used. And that's going to be Arsec. Look at this. Oh, he's got the showstopper. He's playing so close. This is suicidal. Oh, but he doesn't actually get a shot on it. But Thief, he takes it away. And the name completely suits him well because now it's just down to Cavern. He's been putting up some big numbers, some big impact frags, but now this is the moment where he needs to completely deliver to keep his team alive a little bit longer. Look at him. He's looking everywhere. He has no idea where these players are, and that's going to be pure to go for the running shot, takes him down, and they have now solidified themselves on match point.
Noble effort there from ISP, and it's going to be that moment. You've got to spend it all. Give it all you have got. Torvate, 3 rounds between them, and only 1 round away from victory will be the gents from Las Vegas. Liking what I'm seeing from Las Vegas Inferno so far. Really am. Across the team, not just from Iconic. And you can see that sometimes you've got that 1-star player, that player that's got a bit of a rep. Oh, he's carrying the team. Not at all. This is a team effort so far in Las Vegas Inferno. Super impressive stuff.
Yeah, this could potentially be a very big victory for them taking this best of 1. We'll have to wait and see, but Cavern, he actually does take 2 before he falls to the grave. But now, speaking a little bit too soon, Las Vegas Inferno, they're already losing a lot of people, making it that 2-on-4. And I don't believe they have the Spike with them right now. The Spike actually will be down on short A, so bit of an interesting position for them to be in, but that will be 1 orb closer to getting that lockdown. Not ready to use yet. No ult available for the Sover from Las Vegas Inferno, and now it's just all down to him. And at this point, Dubbin, he might want to just try to go for this. I think their money situation is good enough that he can try to pick up a frag or 2. But I mean, he now needs to go for the hunt. He's got plenty of time to burn on that clock.
He's got the HP, he's got the armor, he's got the weaponry. So, truthfully, for a close situation, you're on the brink of match point. Give it a go. Definitely so, mate. 4 players. He's got a little bit of util. Taking 1 head, putting 1 player in the body bag.
We've definitely seen Dubbin do some big frags so far in this game, and right now, this could be the big test. He does get the spike, so now he could go through the TP. He can run into the site, but time is completely ticking. He needs to get that spike down. Only 18 seconds remaining. The flash is already prepared from the breach, but he needs to go. You can hear he's planning, but it's a bit of a fake plant. It's only 10 seconds left. He has to go for this, but he picks up another frag. He's just hoping to frag go completely, but now it's not going to matter because the 1 player is an elbow, but Thief going to be wrapping that gift, taking them another round closer to a tie game potentially. But a valiant effort here from Dubbin.
Super valiant effort. He did give everything he's got for that one, taking the TP and just trying to jet away for the victory. Not going to happen on this occasion. Talking to ISP though, not giving up. They're not giving up even when everything's against them there. You've got a Stinger, you're seeing the Bulldog coming out. That's when you know funds might be a little bit thin, lads.
Yeah, you're really just scraping the barrel. You're just like, well, what can I get? What can I buy? What can I do here? I got no money. I don't have a good credit. What can I do? Bulldog's all you get.
The budget menu, the budget buy. Hunter's Fury. That's not on a budget though.
Oh my goodness.
Money.
Look at that. He actually does make the connection. He knew the jet dash, and he was actually able to find him through another different position. And that's actually pretty good damage that is being exchanged. But now, will not matter. No player's going to be detained from that attacker killjoy. ISP already losing their jet once more, but Walt's able to retaliate back a little bit more. Spike still advancing itself all the way in the back and middle. Going to be going towards long B, where now there is 2 remaining defensive players close by.
Loads trying to be clear with the pre-fire there from Arsec. The ISP though, got in the back of it. 4 versus 3. Haven trying his best to deter his opponents, and rotation station, it's happening.
Oh, that's going to be the res too. Pure, he might be able to find this, but no, the paranoia, he uses it, but the peak's just a bit too early. Walt able to capitalize and take him down. And now it looks like the attacker is just getting completely dismantled. Look at this. Now they're going to run all the way back potentially, but I think they've realized there's not a lot of time, so they need to commit to this fight. So ISP, they should know there's no hope that they should have this, but it is going to be the fake from Raze, so they might try to anticipate to read this, but right now, they're burning this clock as much as possible. Oh my goodness, Arsec actually does pick up the frag, so right now that actually does put a bit of an issue. Oh my goodness, what is going on? But Walls, he's now put himself on a 4K, and it's a 1-on-2 to keep it alive. Otherwise, Las Vegas Inferno, they're taking this game.
I see it. I see the big champ play. Not going to happen. 39 is going to happen though. Las Vegas Inferno converting that win. And Iconic and the gents from Las Vegas are going to be moving forward as you will from that best of 1. What a game.
Yeah, what a game. And I mean, that's kind of the beauty about Bind. I mean, it really does take us to the distance, and it definitely delivered both these teams. But a huge congrats to the Las Vegas Inferno. Like we said, I don't think they've had a lot of showings here at the VSS. So the fact that they took down a pretty big dog like ISP, definitely making a statement. And I think, we were talking about Iconic, and maybe he did bring that mentality, that championship mentality for this team, because right now they're pushing themselves to top 8 here, Cuppa.
They are, and if you want to talk about players of experience and coming in there, you look at Hiko, and yes, that is T1 Valorant, but the impact that he had on bringing players together and making the magic happen, Iconic, he's doing that today in his own realm. Let's see if we can continue that all the way through, and let's have a little sneaky peek at the match MVP. Showstopper is going to be Arsec.
Yeah, and it actually does make sense. I mean, I think Arsec was running around pretty well using Raze to the fullest ability, sorry, with a combat score of 294, kill death being 23, 17, and 7 assists. Like, definitely some really good numbers for Las Vegas Inferno, and definitely makes sense. I definitely would have kept him and Dubbin pretty close, in my opinion, so definitely makes sense. But either way, congratulations to Las Vegas Inferno to taking that 13-9 that we can see right now. And even Thief had a very high combat score as well on that side, considering they lost.
I was going to say it was 11 assists on 2 of the players there on the Las Vegas Inferno. So that's a lot of assists and a lot of damage inflicted by the Las Vegas Inferno. Play more action coming your way. Have a sip of Red Bull, stretch your legs, whatever it's going to be. And we'll be right back with the action coming up very soon here for the Valorant Sunday Showdown.